Minisode. Are we calling it a minisode or a mini episode?
Minisode.
I like minisodes.
Yeah.
Minisode. I like mini-sodas.
Yeah, like a JD and Coke can.
Like a
Small amount of soda in there.
A mini soda. Open it.
Yeah, I was trying to time some of it. So it would open on the thing. Because one of the things I really like about early last podcast episodes is hearing Ben crack open a beer line.
There we go. You got your JD. Cracked it open right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be super quiet with how I drink my rum. I'm like... And then I put it down so gently. Oh.
Nailed it. We are sober doing these. It takes a lot to get me drunk.
I mean, I've had a little bit of rum, so I'm not 100% sober.
4 JD and Coke cans. But I can drink
what percentage are they, though?
5. I can drink like 30 and still be more or less sober.
Not sure if that's true, but no.
I can drink like 10 and then be quite drunk. Yeah.
I feel like we might be revealing too much about our personal lives in this. I mean, especially from a drinking perspective anyway. So, Servitors. What's your understanding of Servitor?
That's one of the things I really struggled with. So from my understanding, it was you do something to create it, and then you offer it thanks when it does what you're meant to do. And they also said about something like coming on a piece of paper, which I'm confused about. And then it was, and there was also in the book something about a cool dog on a skateboard.
Oh yes, no, cat. It was a cat.
A cool cat on a skateboard, and then I was like, oh, my KFC's arrived.
The end.
Yeah, that's my understanding of Servitors.
You said you were talking to a guy on Reddit about it.
Oh, yeah, and then I asked Redditors, I got a little bit confused about like what you're actually meant to do to summon one and how you go about that and how you go about creating one, because all the there wasn't too much about that in Libano, and Condensed Chaos seemed to go on to about computer programming, and I was like, my attention has died.
I think it's one of those things where it's, you know, you can pick and choose what magic you want to use for you. And I think services are from, I'm not sure which part of magic, but I don't think it's specifically to Chaos Magick. I think that's talked about a lot in Chaos Magick, but I don't think it originated at Chaos Magick.
But that's the problem with the Condensed Chaos book. There's not that much. It assumes a lot of knowledge, and considering it's one of the ones that's recommended as like, this is your intro into magic, it's not actually that great of an intro. It's like when people say Cowboy Bebop should be one of the first anime people watch. Cowboy Bebop's excellent. I love that show, but I only found I loved it after I'd watched a lot of anime, because a lot of anime is like loud and screaming and over the top and over dramatization and very melodramatic. And then you watch Cowboy Bebop and it's subtle and it's melancholy and it's very down to earth and there's nothing overly cartoony and everyone reacts like physically how they should react. And you're like, oh, this is such a breath of fresh air. But I don't really see how you could appreciate that until you'd watch like My Hero Academia and Naruto to see just like how over the top a lot of action anime is. And that's what Condensed Chaos is.
So Condensed Chaos is Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I like it. Anyway, I can get on board with that.
So my point is that I was talking to a guy on Reddit about Servitors, which cleared it up a little bit, but I still don't fully understand how you meant to make one or summon one.
So I made one, and my understanding of a servitor, just as a definition perspective for people listening to this episode, is that it is a entity that you create that is born to... it's born to...
Help you?
Yes. It's born to make you achieve something. It's born to make you help you with some sort of certain thing. Whether that be, you know, something that you want to achieve in your mind or physical, tangible results. You basically program it how you want it to react. And then you create it, and then you put it in some sort of housing. So the servitor that I created, I put into a necklace. Taylor Elwood, basically in his book, Walking with Magical Entities, is how to create servitors. And his main way of creating the housing for a servitor is to actually create it with your own hands, is to make a painting, is to craft something out of clay, is to actually make something physically. It will remind you of the intent. it will remind you of the servitor, and it will kind of sort of act as a guide. So you can. So he always used paintings. So he would like paint something, and then he would hang the painting, and then that servitor will be there looking over him, sort of, asking. My God, I can't think. Sorry, I'm being really shit with my words today. Feeling like I've tipped over from tipsy into slightly drunk land.
You had like 2 shots.
No, I haven't. I think it's like that tipsiness where it's fine to speak to a friend, but when you're trying to put your words together in a concise way, it's like, fuck.
I think you're nailing it.
Thanks. Basically, so I created a servitor, and you may think that this is totally like annoying and unnecessary, but I wanted it to happen, okay? So I made a servitor to help me lose weight.
Why would I talk about my weight all the fucking time? Why would I think that's annoying or unnecessary?
Because I feel like it's very physical, like it's results magic, right? It's
but that's
like
what Chaos Magick is.
I
It's
know.
meant to be results orientated.
It feels like I should be like, oh, I did it to sort of like make sure that I could meditate for like 10
Literally
times
all
longer,
the books are
but-
just like, you probably want women, so this is, we're all going to say this. So.
And I want a shredded body, so
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to go after. So, in any case, I made this servitor, and the idea for the servitor is to state your will of intent, and mine was to burn fat. And so the intent for that statement is my statement of intent is I will burn fat. It was my will that I will burn fat. And then Taylor Elwood recommends that you burn that down to like 2 words. So mine was burn fat. And then it was take out all of the repeating letters or the vowels. I can't remember. But basically...
I think it's both or...
Yeah, both or either or. But basically I came up with Burnft. So then that was the name of my servitor, is Burnft. And
sounds like the noise Nightcrawler makes when he disappears in the comics.
Yeah, you're totally right, it does. I love it. Anyway, so Burnft was Burnft is to help me lose weight. It helps me have motivation to go on runs and do exercise. It helps me burn fat. It helps me burn calories, and it helps me make better choices when it comes to food.
And you said you didn't feel like it was working.
Yes.
But I would argue when I was like, we should meet up at 9:30 today.
Yeah.
And you were like, no, I'm going to go for a run. Is that not it working? Because you could have just caved into what I wanted.
That's true. That is true.
And also in the book, isn't it like whenever something like that happens, you should thank the servitor and then it becomes more powerful?
That is true.
Because you could have easily been like, yeah, come at 9:30, I don't give a shit. Which is what I would have done.
Yeah, no, I did go on a run this morning, so
Exactly.
it kind of worked. No, I did, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's probably because in Chaos Magick you have to decondition yourself, and I feel like I haven't made enough headway in that direction yet. So I feel that when I say, oh, it's because I want to go on a run this morning, it's like, oh, well, I just wanted to go on a run, I just felt like that type thing, like I kind of like I don't know, like sort of wither it away, like I explain it away, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that can't be magic, that's just me wanting to go on the run. But maybe it's
Did you go
not.
on like the last 3 weeks? Have you been running often?
Yes.
Alright, that doesn't really count then.
Why?
When did you make the servitor? Like, were you running often before the servitor?
I think I run consistently, but I think I have been running more since I have done it. And I feel like I have been making better decisions about health.
And then I would say then the servitor's working and you owe it some thanks, because then it'll get stronger and more real, apparently.
I do give it thanks. I do want to give it thanks. And I housed it within a little sun necklace. So it's like a pendant, and the pendant is of a sun. And I wanted to inspire like the idea of burning calories, of fire, of heat, of burning things away. And that is why I put it in the sun necklace. I had a couple others. I had a moon and a star, but I went for the sun because I thought that's more intentful for what I wanted it to do. And I do wear it quite a lot, and I touch it to like say thank you to it. And also another way of me giving it power was to burn a candle. And when I did the ritual to create the servitor, I burned some candles, which I thought was like symbolic of symbolatry. I was going to say that isn't a word. Yes, I thought that was symbolic of burning fat, of burning calories. So I lit these 3 candles, and I said, whenever I burn a candle, it will be granting it energy. It will be fueling it. So not only that, but whenever I make a healthy decision, that also fuels it. And whenever I touch it or wear it, that also fuels it. So I feel like I have been giving it a lot of fuel because I do burn candles quite a lot. And when I do light candles, I don't just light them and then forget them. Like I do think now, this will give the servitor more juice, you know. So it is in the back of my mind. And I haven't really felt its presence like a person.
Yeah.
Which is, again, leading me to suspect it's all in my mind. But by the same token, like, if it is in my mind and if it is helping, then why isn't that magic?
Yeah. Yeah, and magic is about affecting change. That's what all the books say. So whether it's changing your mind or changing the outside world, it's still magic, which I do feel is a bit of a cop-out because you're like, everything's magic.
Everything's magic. Everything's magical. We're living in a magical world.
But I still think there's something to that. As long as it creates... I would say it'll probably fail. You could count it as failed if you're like sitting at home eating nothing but like vegan burgers and like...
Yeah, despite the controversy around vegans, you can definitely be a very unhealthy vegan. You can basically just eat a whole loaf of white bread and be like, yeah, it's totally vegan. It doesn't mean it's any more healthier.
Honestly, a lot of the vegans I know are like quite fat.
Yeah, me too.
So it's not like, so you could still be like sitting around eating like nothing but like vegan cheese and vegan burgers, being like, that's when I would say like, oh yeah, this probably didn't work.
Yeah.
But the fact that you say like you're making healthier decisions and healthier ones, and it's worked in some capacity.
Depends what you mean by vegan though, because you can be like vegan for so many reasons, like for the planet, for the animals.
No, I don't mean like you fail at being a vegan if you're not unhealthy.
No.
Failed if,
I see. Yes, if I was just being completely unhealthy.
Yeah.
Despite being vegan.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think veganism has anything to really do with it because you can, as we've discussed, you can be terribly unhealthy as a vegan.
Yes. But like I say, but you're not doing that, so I don't think like, I don't know, that seems like it's working to me from like how I would look at it.
Yeah, me too. But then I could just kind of like, how much of it is my will and how much of it is me? And I'm like, well,
how
does
much
it?
That matters?
Exactly. I was actually just literally going to say that. Does that even matter?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That's my experience with Servitors. That's probably like the biggest ritual that I did. I like put the lights out. I only lit the room by candlelight. I like had this necklace. I like said it. I meditated on it. I purified it under a candle. I swung it back under the candle. I dipped it in chili oil to kind of like say this is burning, the idea of heat and burning type thing.
Just downstairs being like, what the fuck are you doing?
Brian was out. But I was like, and that's the thing, like I was like shouting and I was saying like, Buns, you are real, you are there, you are being born. And I was kind of like, it's really great that my husband is out right now.
I'll tell you one of the things I want to do that I thought I'd be quite good at from Condensed Chaos is like, you should get like a black marble reflective bowl with some water and some candlelight and just stare in it and see if you get any information. I think I could do that quite well because I stare quite well.
Yeah, we've discussed that, how you can just stare into nothing for ages.
I think I could probably, like, if I got high, see some stuff in it.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'd be up for that.
Yeah, I'm going to give that a go.
A black marble bowl.
Yeah.
That seems really niche.
Oh, like there's a black bowl, he said.
Oh, a black bowl,
so, like,
okay. You could probably get one of those from, like, IKEA or something.
So you can see, like, reflections in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm into it.
And I'm into Servitors now that I really should have read that book about walking with the spirits because there wasn't that much of it in the books I read.
I didn't read the spirits.
That was very clear.
There was there's Walking with Spirits that I haven't read, but there's Walking with Magical Entities, which is specifically about servitors, how to set them up, how to make them survive. There is a flowchart process which basically says like, if this, then that.
Yeah.
If that, then this. It's very like sort of computer languagey, almost, if you were setting up a computer program, almost. And that's how you're supposed to set up the servitor. Like, it will awaken when this happens. It will go to sleep when this happens.
Yeah, that was in Condensed Chaos, and that's what like made me lose my attention span. Because I was like, computer programming, I can't. I want it all to be like magic-y and spiritually. And
see, that's...
when you apply hard logic, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
That's so funny because I'm almost the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as you put a computer spin on it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, no, I can understand this. Like, flowcharts, yeah, I'm interested. So I think where that completely turns you off.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
This has nothing to do, but it's in a side episode, so it's fine. A mini episode. But there was a whole chapter in Condensed Chaos about fractals. Whenever he said the most fractals, where you're like frozen fractals from like the Let It Go song from Disney. Because I was like, oh, then I can't hear this
Let
word.
it go.
Yeah.
Let it go.
Basically, she was speaking about like the fractals in the ice in one of the bits of the song, and it always stuck out to me because it didn't really rhyme or anything. I was like, oh, damn it.
I feel like you should make a meme or a TikTok or something like her going like frozen fractal and you go Chaos Magick.
Yes. It's probably a good place to end, right?
Yeah, I think so. So this has been an episode on Servitors, and I'm excited to do a bit more on Chaos Magick. Doing this episode has sort of like reinvigorated my interest again for it. So I feel like I want to do some more rituals, read a couple more reference books, and like...
For me, what I'm going to try and do is start researching more typical magic so I can see what the systems are that I need to either believe in for a bit and let go. But so it's definitely reinvigorated my love, or not my love, my interest in this whole subject. So I'm going to go back and like read maybe some more traditional texts.
Yeah, no, I think that sounds good. But for me as well, because again, learning about chaos magic is very abstract when you don't know really what the systems of magic actually are to start with. So I think tarot cards will be a really great place for us to sort of start with other types of magic.
I absolutely agree. Because that's a system of magic that's defined, and you can to do the chaos magic thing. I can like believe in for a little bit of time and really believe in it for a little bit of time because everything is permitted.
Exactly. Also, there's a beautiful tarot card deck that I really want to buy, and it looks like the art on it is stunning, and I'm like, I want that. Like, I don't even care if I do magic do any magic with it. Like, I want it.
I'm really excited with that. I've always wanted to learn more about tarot cards. Like, even before like I knew anything about chaos magic, just because they look so cool, and I can't wait to like find what my deck is in a deck. What my deck is and stuff.
Good episode.
Anyway, Journey into Strange. Listen next time.
See you next time.
Where I find out what my deck is.
Bye.
Bye.